Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Making It with Marcus and Mariana. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Mariana. And today, we have a very special guest. The world-renowned professional shuffle dancer, Vanesa Seco. She started her career in Miami in 2016. Now she is in Los Angeles with over 1 million followers on Instagram and over 2 million on TikTok, spreading her love for dance and creativity. Aww. And today, she's here with us on our couch as we get to dive a little deeper in how she turned in one of her passions into her career. So, Vanessa.
That was so good, Mariana. The frick?
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah,
we are. You were made for this, weren't you? Oh, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for such a cute introduction.
You're welcome.
Of course.
Very
well,
nice.
we just really want to know what inspired you to start this journey.
Oh my god. Well, first of all, thank you guys so much. And these are two of my fam.
We're literally family.
Literally.
Fam.
But okay, wow. I feel like I have never even really told this to you guys, so this is kind of good.
No, I was waiting. There was one day we were sitting at the table and you were about to tell me, and I was like, stop.
Yeah.
I don't want to know yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what inspired me to do what I do today? Mm-hmm. I think music. And I mean, there was like a lot of things, but I was in college. I went to my first music festival. I had a boyfriend who was a DJ at the time. I used to like think about house music and kind of be like, what, like pots and pans, this is
literally
horrible. Like
yeah.
I was in that. I mean, who wasn't? Like middle school, high school, like this
Sure.
is horrible.
I was the same way.
I mean, we liked Skrillex, but like even then I was like, I'd rather listen to like Justin Bieber. And then like, still do.
Yep.
But then I had an awakening in college. I was like, well, when you're like 20 and then you like start to like different things and you have like just different thoughts and you start realizing things, like Kylie Jenner said that one time. she's like I feel like I'm just realizing things. I felt her on that.
Literally.
But anyways, music festivals, EDC Orlando, and I saw people shuffling. I saw T-Mac shuffling. I saw Abby LaFlaca shuffling. These are some OG shufflers, my favorites. And I was like, this is so cool. And then I simultaneously saw Elena Cruz, who's like was the biggest shuffler to me in that moment, still is in the world. I love her. And she was on social media. She was an influencer. And I was like, this is really freaking cool. Like, what is this? It's 2015. Like, there wasn't really any influencers. I mean, it was like the beginning. It was like Vine.
Totally, yeah.
Vine, a couple YouTubers.
Trust me, I know
Exactly.
Vine.
You remember?
The 6 second, yeah. That was my life in high school.
Like,
freshman year, are you kidding me? That's
Vine,
when I was
Vine
15.
celebrities were a thing at
It was
the time,
everything.
for sure.
It was everything. Or like Jenna Marbles on YouTube.
Yes.
Oh.
But like, other than that, I mean...
The classics.
Yeah, what else? So, but I saw her and it was unique and it was different and it was cool. And I was like, I'm going to do that. And, some other things.
Were there tutorials? Or did you just watch what she did?
There was no tutorials.
Because now there's tons and tons and tons.
There's like too many.
It just
now.
wasn't a thing at the time.
It was. Like, I don't want to... I feel like I used to speak on podcasts being like, it wasn't a thing, but I've actually learned a lot.
Well, no, because there's a
then.
huge culture behind it.
Right.
There's a massive culture, which you've uncovered.
Yeah, especially on YouTube, actually. Like, there used to be YouTube... I wasn't watching them, but in 2006, 2007, 2008, there was some crazy shufflers that I ignorantly just recently learned about. But they were like OG, like Melbourne shufflers. It's not the type of shuffling that I do. I cut more shapes. I cut shapes. But like there's another style of shuffling. It's like Cali style, Melbourne style. People were posting on YouTube. It was like a thing. There's actually a trend on TikTok right now. Oh my God, ADHD. There's a trend on TikTok right now of people being like, you won't post your early OG shuffle like days. And then there's people being like going crazy, like stomping the ground with like the big pants.
But
like,
if you
remember that kind of shuffling,
Totally.
Yeah, that's like the OG raver classic. But I feel like you have always posted your growth, like from so you've never been scared of like this is where I started and this is where I'm from.
Never. Like 2016, actually 2015 I discovered it. 2016 I was like, all right, I'm gonna go for it, and that's when I was seeing Elena. And that's when I realized, because that was a different shift. Like, obviously, people have always been shuffling, but social media and shuffling, like,
it wasn't
like this. And there was really, like, 2 or 3 people doing it and doing it, like, successfully. And I was like, I could do this. I was like, I could be so good. And I did not even know how to do the Running Man. But I was just obsessed with watching it.
Yeah.
That's hard, too.
And
It's not easy, guys.
Mm-mm.
It's not easy. I've tried.
Easy.
I've literally done one of her beginner classes before. Well, I'm not coordinated with that. So, like, it's just not for me, but it's not easy.
No, I mean, I agree. But then the way I teach my students is like, it's so easy. Come on.
But you know, you are also a really great teacher where you take your time with people, even though you're so advanced, you can level down to a beginner again. And I think that's such an amazing skill to have as a teacher. Because some people can just dance. Like, you can just do it and do it and do it. Like, you can work, you do your job, but can you teach someone else how to do it? And I think that's a major thing.
100%.
How did you get so good? Like, where was the bridge of like, okay, I'm a beginner and now I'm like, bam, I'm here and I can like take this as a career.
Like good in teaching or just like good at the craft?
At the craft.
10,000 hours for sure. Like, I've done so many Running Mans. Like, I've done so many. It's so cute too because when I first started posting on social media, I was a total beginner. Like, I didn't care if I was the best. Like, I did not care. I was like, I want to post my journey, and it sucked. But my energy still shined through, so I instantly started getting followers. Like, people still liked my energy. Also, maybe it might have been a mixture of, like, right place, right time, too, because energy, like, you know, not a lot of people were doing it. You know, people were getting into it. But I was just on there living my life. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to be perfect at it. And then the more, it's funny because I feel like I grew with social media. Like, as I grew in my following, I grew in my dance. Like, it wasn't like I was already this, like, pro and I just got, like, out there. So it's cool because I've grown with my followers. But
you've also shown different things.
Sure.
Like, the funny thing is, I remember when I was a follower. That's how I know who this woman is.
That's so crazy.
And that's how it started.
And then you bought an outfit.
And then I bought an outfit, yes. So we'll get into Diosa. But you were doing workout videos.
I would do all of it. I loved workout
Yeah.
videos. And I loved shuffle videos.
Because that's a
Like
major
motivational
thing,
videos.
and you talk about that a lot, is working out. So what are some of the main things, and as you've grown in dance, what are those like crucial like workouts that a shuffler like gotta get down?
You gotta hit legs. Like
Gotta hit
that's
legs.
the thing. That is the thing. That is the thing is that like people don't realize like you can't just be a string bean dancing, moving your bones. Like you have to have you have to have muscle. Like I've realized that over time, the strength that I've acquired as a dancer, I give it all to the weights at the gym. Like it's everything. I just posted a video about that recently, like squats. Just squat away at life. Squat away at life.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, yeah, it's you need strength.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to love posting like strengthening and like workout videos and obviously my journey. But I think doing it so much, like going back to what you were saying, like how did I get good at my craft? I think doing it so much in front of the camera almost made me grow more.
Seeing yourself.
Yeah, I've like my whole journey with dance has been connected to a camera. Like it wasn't a lot of people's journey with dance is just studios, class, training your whole life, in and out of studios.
But
I wasn't in any studios.
You didn't come from a dance background.
No.
Like not at all.
I mean, I trained when I was like 7 in ballet, tap, jazz, like everyone, ballet, tap, jazz, like never competed because it was too expensive. My parents couldn't afford it. It was, and there's one little outfit is like $800.
Sure.
Yeah, and there was probably 2 of you trying to do it, and they were like, nah.
And like literally they were struggling financially at one point. Like when we were doing ballet, tap, jazz, it was good. And then in high school, middle school, when I wanted to start like, doing it like competitively, because that was cool to do it competitively.
Yeah.
It was just too expensive, and it was like a harder time for my parents as opposed to us when we were little. But what the fuck was I just about to say? It's like I was high and I forgot everything I was going to say.
No, you're
it's
good.
Like I'm high. I'm actually as sharp as a bullet right now.
You're talking about finances and the fact that dance wasn't. It was too much.
Yeah, it was too much. So, but then I got into cheerleading because I always wanted to move my body. And it's funny because in the cheer world, I was cheer captain and I still loved being a leader, right? So I was still like managed to be cheer captain even though I wasn't like a competitive cheerleader or whatever. And in my like job title in the cheer captain, I would always create the dances. So I still had something
choreo
for dance.
Was always there.
Yeah, there was like someone for stunts, someone for tumbling, and then for me it was like the choreo. And then when I got into college, I always knew I wanted to dance and I always knew I wanted to sing, but like when I was like in my teen years, I didn't really believe in myself. Like I did, but I was just like, I'm just going to go to college because everybody else is doing it. Like it's what, you got to go to college. We're not going to not go to college. Like I cared too much about what people thought. I didn't care to like stop and be like, what do I want to do with my life? So I was just
Right.
like, I'm going to college, and then I'm going to study political sciences, and I'm just going to
Yeah.
go because political sciences is cool, I guess, because lawyers make money and Capricorn,
Yeah.
and like whatever. It was so the wrong reasons. But then when I was in college, always kept getting pulled back to it. Like I would watch tutorials of dance tutorials. I would show all my sorority sisters. I would teach them dances. We won all the dance competitions because I
That's
choreographed
funny.
them. I was in it. So, but I just, didn't. And then that's when in college, in my sorority, my sisters were like, let's go to EDC.
And it
And I
started
was
all
like,
from there.
I almost
that.
didn't go.
Wow.
But then I was like, all right,
So
whatever.
thank you to the sorority sisters.
Yeah, thank you to the sorority
Literally.
sisters. And also shout out to one of my friends who, when we were like 19, 18, she was like, look at these shufflers, like they're cool. I was like, they're lame. I literally was like, that's so lame. I was so judgmental of it until I went to a music festival. Not with that girl.
Because then you were able to see
You
what they
saw
were
it
really
live in
about in their
action.
moment.
Uh-huh.
The vibe, the
That's-
energy.
Yeah.
That's
And drugs. No, I'm just kidding. You can cut that.
no
Or
festivals.
you can keep it. I don't care.
No festivals. We don't do
Well,
that.
going back to your social media, with your like following growing so largely, do you feel pressure to constantly, post content, and does it make it difficult to like, stay connected with your fans?
You know what? It's changed over time. I just keep on changing. Sammy's song. It has changed.
Shout out Sammy.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Sammy.
His album just dropped.
Gotta get that.
Yeah, we want to have
Field of
Sammy on
Melodies.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have Sammy.
We will.
He's a good podcaster.
We already thought about it.
It has changed over time. I feel. Fuck. What was the question again?
It's okay. We'll just pause for a sec.
What was it again?
It was.
It was such a good question. I was so excited.
No, it was with your following growing so largely. How do you feel a lot of pressure to constantly post content?
Oh yeah.
And with your following being so big, does it make it harder to connect with your fans?
Yes, but that's been like but that's been a negligent part of me. So yeah, with the pressure of the growth, when I was posting in the beginning, there was no ego. It was like me, I sucked. I was like, whatever, I'm just having fun. And as I've gotten better, you have more of an ego. And then as I've gotten better, I've grown, and there's been moments where I get so like addicted to that, because when you go viral, it's like you're growing like thousands of followers per minute.
You don't
and
even
you're
know
just
what
like,
to do.
oh my God, like I love this.
People love me.
Do anything. People love
Yeah.
me. Like, yeah. So it's a lot of like grounding with like, so in the beginning it wasn't like that, but then over time, I have phases with it. So it is hard. And then obviously, like there does come the pressure when you start making money, right? So when you start making money, again, in the beginning, posting for fun, not making any money,
Didn't matter.
like didn't matter.
care.
I didn't care. There was no pressure.
Yep.
I felt like I was a little more authentic. And I feel like in your early 20s, like you just feel like
You're free.
you're so ignorant.
Oh,
You're-
well, that
ignorance is-
ignorant.
ignorance is
free to be
bliss.
whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
ignorance is bliss. Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I look at 20-year-olds now, like very Gen Z, and I'm like, I miss that. Not because I actually like getting older, but I'm like, the ignorance that you have, like ignorance is cute. Like it isn't even meant to be a bad word. I think ignorance is bliss. I used to think ignorance wasn't bliss. I used to be so like Capricorn, like I want to know everything. Like how are you
Wow.
gonna tell me not knowing makes me
Yeah.
happy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I get it.
Because
I
that
get
beauty
it.
of discovering
Yeah.
something new and the many options of like what you can do with that
Yeah.
is beautiful when you look back on it, because you seeing shuffling and going to EDC for the first
Yeah.
time, the door that it opened that you
possibilities
never
that-
would have even thought of.
Of course, I'm like in your 20s too. You're like getting out of your awkward phase, and then you're starting to
Yeah.
feel really hot and
You're
beautiful.
finding
And you're like,
Start
oh my
to
God,
learn who
like
you are, exactly,
it's
finding
just
yourself.
like
Yeah.
it was a big moment. Like I found shuffling when I was 19, 20, and I remember being like, I'm gonna be. Before I even like decided I was gonna do it, I was like, I had an epiphany and I had a vision and I had a trip where I was just like, I'm gonna be like the biggest shuffler in the world. Like I literally
She's
told
on
my
her way.
family. I had no followers, by the way. I
That's
had, like,
fine.
My
Look-
followers from high school, and I called my parents and I was like, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm leaving. I'm dropping out. It's junior year because I think I'm
Of
going to be a
college?
really big dancer.
Junior year of college.
Of college. Junior
Okay.
year of college.
And where were you at this time?
I was at UCF in Orlando,
Oh my God.
and I was like, I don't really think this. I don't want to keep getting into more debt. I'm not going to be a lawyer. I don't want to do this. I want to be a dancer. barely knew the T-step at this point, but I just had a vision, guys. I'm not kidding. Like, it was the definition of like confidence / those early 20s, like just delulu-ness, that I was like, I'm gonna do it. And it worked. Like, right place, right time. It all started, going crazy.
But you aligned yourself with that. I think
did.
in that moment, you kind of just like
Yeah.
gave yourself to what you were about to do.
Yeah.
You're like, fam, you need to know, because you're a family person, so your family's in on everything.
Oh yeah.
And
because I had to move back. I was gonna move back home because they lived in Miami and I was in Orlando, but I was like, Miami's better for content, for everything. Like,
Sure.
I'm gonna go back, like, and I'm gonna live with them. And my brother makes films and he can film me. And Pam, is going to the Fashion Institute in Miami at this point. She's like 18, and I'm like, and then I just thought about my family a lot, and with Right, because like, I was right at the time, because obviously we were going to build something huge, which is what we have today. But I had a major vision at the time, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. And it's such a, like, it's just so telling of the fact that, like, confidence does equal success, I think, because I was so confident of myself in that moment.
Yeah.
Even though I had no, like, proof, like, of myself. Like, I had nothing, but I was so confident that I was gonna have everything. And I was so delulu about it. It's almost, I manifested
But that's awesome.
But I think that's
manifested it.
a very powerful thing that you have. Like, you've taken one little seed of something and, like, phew. And that was literally one of our questions was, how's your family, who we love oh so dearly, like every single one of them,
The best.
helped your career and helped you grow. And they've, like, implemented so many things. But, like, what are they to you truly?
They're, like, I don't know why well, I guess I do. But I think we were all put in each other's lives, like, for a reason. Because if I would have been with parents who were like, no, you have to finish. Like, you have to finish. You have to have a stable job. And then you can think about fucking around. And no, like, I told my mom, I was like, I want to be a dancer. She was like, great. She was like, amazing. And she was, like, not, like, mad at me. And my dad wasn't mad. I mean, they also dropped out. And then they also ended up having successful businesses. The only reason we ended up in, like, a weird financial thing was because of immigration. Like, they lost their papers and all this stuff, which they now have, which is good. But really, like, they dropped out and still were able to be successful. So yeah, they probably didn't see it as anything, and they've always been artists at heart. Like, they truly are both artists. Like, my dad is a singer.
Oh, opera. That
opera
man
singer.
is like an opera singer.
Yeah, he be going off. It's crazy.
I did not know until we were at your house last time, and he just, like, starts belting. I was like, I was like, Mama, do you sing too? Because Papa, she's like, no. And I was like, this
Mom
is
doesn't
great.
sing.
No.
But Mom has the eye for color.
Oh,
like,
big time.
She has the eye
She
for
has
design.
Diosa by Seco.
Yeah, Diosa by Seco.
And
but
that
they
is-
actually, before the clothing line, before everything, they had an interior design business called Molding Emporium in Boca, and we had a whole little showroom. I remember we were just little and we would go to the
That's
parents' work.
awesome.
They had everything, but then they lost it and they lost everything. But yeah, they were always designers. Like, they always loved the art. So when I told them, they were very supportive. And then, of course, Pam and Og, I always thought I was, like, the black sheep that wasn't an artist, because Pam knew she wanted to be a designer.
Yeah.
Pam literally would, like, my sister would, like, dress herself and then put her nails to her, like, outfits of her colored
she
shirts.
knew
Her colored
early.
shirts, like, something in her hair, the earrings, and the nails would all match.
Accessories.
Like,
Pam is
everything
the
in
queen of
middle school.
accessories.
Yeah, even in middle school and in high school. And then Og was the one that got into Bach Middle School and Dreyfus. He got into the art schools. Me and Pam didn't.
God. Well, he's different.
He was
Yeah.
gifted from him. He was, like, 3. He was, like, drawing.
No,
It
it's
was
like,
insane.
actually-
He's different.
Yeah, and so he was actually a visual artist before he decided he wanted to do film. So they were both already artists. My parents are supportive. And then I was, like, the late bloomer in it when I realized, I was like, I want to be a dancer. Even though I knew in high school, but I just, like, was like, nah, like, kind of negative Capricorn about it. And then when I wanted to, like, they were just so supportive, and we teamed up. And I mean, I can't even imagine moving out to LA alone. Whenever I see people, which is almost everyone who had to make the move out, like, okay, I'm gonna do this alone, I'm like, I'm a cheater. Like, I cheated through life because I came with them. Like,
Well-
it's not that I'm a cheater. So yeah, I was
you just
blessed
have you
with
just
them.
have the
Blessed.
best support system and
Yeah.
family, and I think that's such an amazing thing for your career, and the fact that you guys do grow together. Like, you've grown as a dancer, and the clothing brand has grown because it's I mean, it's a festival clothing brand, and what do? Go to festivals. So you guys are walking around.
And you
it's
guys
like,
can all lean on each other for
Yeah.
help in certain areas. I mean,
sure.
you guys model the clothes that your mom and your sister make.
Yeah.
And,
And they
it's
even
great.
got into, like, in a way, my mom always says this, but, like, my inspiration got everyone to be able to do it. Like, even Og was always going to be a filmmaker and Pam with that, but Diosa would have never started if I didn't introduce the family to raves, because none of them raved.
Well, then on top of that, Og's his videography skills show when he's taking every single one of your dance videos. And
exactly.
it's like people, I've seen him move too when he's doing those. Like, you have to have a certain skill to be able to maneuver a camera like that. And he just freehandly does it, and he's just like, and they all are amazing. And then he edits them.
Yeah, he does it all.
So it's like,
even though that's not really what he wants to do with his life.
Yeah.
He wants to like direct.
For sure.
But this is still like, it's the greatest thing
on the
that
up
you
and
can
up.
have, like, as like you know what I mean? Like, we all help each other financially. It's like
learning
the
and growing.
team is great. And then the festival wear brand came because we were at festivals, and it started with me being like, Pam, come to a music festival. Like, come with my college friends. It's so fun. It's the best. And then I got Og to go. This was before Mom and Dad went to festivals with us. Because they go to music festivals with us. But my brother and my sister, I took them to the first festival, and they fell in love. And when we first went, I'll never forget, I used to make these videos, like in 2017. I used to make these videos where we would have like a bathing suit, like just a random pink bathing suit. And then my mom, before we went to the festival, like, she would just get like ribbon, or like she would just grab, what is it called? Not like appliques, but like whatever, the stuff you see on
like
Diosa.
ribbons.
It's not ribbons, but like the embroidery. She started just like hot glue gunning like embroidery onto like
the material,
bikinis that we bought, like just random
Funny.
bikinis, and then put a choker, and then like a matching thing right here, and then like matching little boots, and then everything matching off of like a bathing suit. That she just worked on it, like arts and crafts, and started dressing us for the festival.
She's crazy.
And so people started seeing us in 2017, because we launched in 2018, and they were like, at festivals, and at this point I wasn't that popular like at festivals, but maybe a little, but random people would be like, you guys look amazing, like, what are you wearing? We're my mom just like like we hot glue gun but everyone would say the same thing, and it was, you look like goddesses.
That's
you look
great.
like goddess, you look like a goddess, like, or they just walk by and be like, goddess, but you know, raver, like raves
of course,
people are so nice, but like we really were like stopping traffic. It wasn't just everyone, it wasn't everyone that was getting stuff
when
like
you
that.
wear Diosa, you stop traffic.
It's
it's like point blank. That's literally how we are where we're at. I got a Diosa one day, and 2 days, and then another, and then here we are.
Mariana ordered a Diosa. And then
which
she came over because we lived around here. She's
actually,
like, I'll just pick it up.
No, it was funny because it was like shipping wouldn't have made it in time, and I lived in Calabasas, and you guys lived over in the valley, and I was like, oh, we're not far. But I think the coolest part about this was, and it's a major thing in your career, that I was like showing up randomly one day, and we work in production, but you had the whole entire production for America's Got Talent at your house. I pull up, and Pam had warned me. I was messaging Pam on the Diosa Instagram, and she was like, I was like, okay, I'm here, and she comes out, and she goes, I love you guys, thank you so much, and she's like, do you want to come in? And I was like, yeah, like, I don't, like, what do I say to that? Like, sure. Like, she was just so welcoming, and like, it was like the first words out of her mouth, and I was like, I think I have to say yes. Like, yeah, I'll come in. And I already knew what the house looked like. Caso Contenta, by the way, guys, it's like the best content house you could ever find in LA.
Yeah.
But Pam lets me enter, and I was like just dumbfounded by the house, because it's like insanely amazing.
Like a rainbow threw up on the walls.
More than that, like, it's trolls inside the house, and that's like it's literally the movie Trolls in a house in every theme.
Yes.
So, but I walk in, and your whole dance crew is there. And I'll never forget. And I'm like looking, and I'm like, whoa. And they're all like, oh my God, it's Short Black ready to attack. And I was like, I was like, what? And I was like, they all like knew who I was through my Insta bio. And I was like, what? Like, this is weird. Like, I'm just here to get an outfit. You guys are all on a TV show dancing with Vanessa, who's like amazing. And they were like, you. And Pam's like, you guys are hugging me like we all know each other. And I'm like, we know each other. Okay. And you're like, you can't leave until Mama comes out of the shower. She really wants to meet you. And I was like, I'm not leaving. And she did. She came out of the shower. She was done.
Like 2021.
This was like 20.
2022?
No. Yeah. Before 2020. Because.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Because 2019, I have to look at my Instagram, because I remember that was my second Diosa. I'd ordered Diosa before then. Mine are always custom, so I'm always up in their DMs. So always, I'm like, can we do this with that, with this? No, we don't have that color in purple. Okay, let's do this. So I did. I came, and that was really what it was, and I just hung out, met you guys, and ever since then I just started picking up my outfits.
Everything is happening in that
just
house.
Now we're at birthday parties and things together.
And now we're besties.
But little.
And now she's like head of my production of my fucking events.
No,
Well,
we've mixed powers now.
So two of the coolest things, I guess that was a staple moment, was walking into seeing you, the America's Got Talent crew around your house. So that was you literally pulled together shufflers from I don't know who, what, when, where, and you made a whole group and went on a freaking like
we were on
nationwide TV show.
First time shuffling was ever on America's Got Talent. I wasn't the one that I pulled them together with Tori Nishino though. Tori was asked for the opportunity. Tori was one of my students that I taught to shuffle. But AGT had seen her videos on TikTok shuffling, and so she came to me. She was like, "You taught me everything I know. Let's make a team together." So, but she is one of the best leaders that I know. So it was an honor for that, and I love her. And whenever I think about like my students and the people that I've taught, I'm like,
they're little prodigies.
Yeah, but I'm like, Tori is like one of the ones that I'm most proud of because she's made a whole business out of it, like social media. I mean, with AGT and everything, and then the team and her leadership with everything, I'm like, wow. Like that little seed that she saw, because she was the girl that I did AGT with and our whole team, but she was showed one of my videos by one of her friends, and he would always be like, "You need to do what she does," and she was kind of ignoring of it, and then finally
she went in and she was
finally she was like, "All right," and she like checked it out. She was like, "This is really fucking cool," and then like went to one of my classes, and then eventually she was the seed for the AGT. But yeah, we led a whole team of people on America's Got Talent. Shufflelution is our team name, and we got to semifinals. It was really freaking cool.
Yay.
What's his name again? Simon Cowell loved us.
That's funny.
And then he hated us. He like loved us and then he hated us. But
Fake.
yeah. Production is, I'm sure you know, production is weird.
It's weird. It is.
They have it all planned. You know what I mean?
It's scripted.
So,
I don't want to say
No,
that. I'm gonna say it's all
everything
scripted because not everything
Not
is
all of
scripted.
it is, yeah.
Not game shows and things like that. Like aren't not game shows, but like a show like that.
Yeah.
It's not scripted, but they do have a
but they
production
have their
side to
agenda.
it. Yes, they have an agenda, not scripted.
Yeah.
That's
they
a good
do.
way to put it.
And I know because they would deny all these ideas that we had, and then we almost got effed over in the end, but whatever. I don't have any resentment for it. It was such a cool experience to be on national television and to bring shuffling for the first time onto national television, because that's huge. Like other than LMFAO and all the other iconic moments that shuffling has had, this was among like probably some of the best. Still wish we could have shown up a little better because. You know, I always think we could show up,
do better,
fucking better.
Yeah, but you're also a perfectionist who's like,
of course,
perfection.
Like I wish I looked lighter on my feet when I performed. I felt like I looked like I had cement on, or
more leg
2
days.
blocks of just horrible on my feet.
More leg days.
More leg days,
exactly.
Ever
Squats.
since then, it's been 3 years since the AGT experience, and oh my god, I've grown so much as a dancer. But the AGT experience was 8 months of practicing nonstop, 8-hour practices. Tough. We got under the sun. It was so fun though. We just like in Santa Monica parking lot, like we like street styled it. Like we didn't have a studio. It was some of the best days of my life. I think working towards something with a group of people. Collaborating in any way, that's why I'm excited for that side of music too in my singing journey. Collaboration with other humans is some of my favorite things on the planet. Is one of my favorite things on the planet to do. I think I'm made for it. I think my Libra North Node calls for it. If you know about what your North Node is, we didn't find you guys as North Node. I think I already know. My North Node in Libra is all about collaboration. It's not about me.
Every inch of a chart.
Yes, it's not about me flying alone in this lifetime. In my past life, it was with Aries, because Libra opposite is Aries. Aries was very independent in life. I was like, I was living for me. I was very selfish. I was more like, I want to be me. But like, I've realized, and it's so funny, because if you think about my timeline at shuffling, yes, like I've done it alone, but everything. My family is a massive collaboration.
Yeah,
my whole brand is a massive collaboration. Like what I wear, who shoots me, everything.
Yeah.
And then also one of my first videos, I didn't even get to that part, but Elena Cruz, my biggest inspiration. I told you guys I would watch her videos. She was like the OG shuffler. She answered me. I had like maybe 9,000 followers from high school. Like I wasn't an influencer, and I messaged her. I was like, I'm your biggest fan. I'd only been shuffling for like 3 months. I was like, I want to collab with you one day. She answered me. My second video on the internet, my first one was just a regular freestyle, and then my second video was with her.
Wow.
Like, was she in Florida?
She lived in Florida. She lived in my same town in Palm Beach.
So your favorite person was like right there.
I loved her, and
incredible.
we learned a lot from each other because I had
amazing.
more of the foundation of like making choreos. Like, she was just like a freestyler, but I had always done choreos for like my dance classes, for my sororities, for my high school, and cheer. So we came together and we made this, like, there was just such a good energy with me and Elena. And those videos, those collabs of us, if you had been following since 2017, you know, are some of the most iconic things. Like, any shuffler today will say, like, oh, the Ian Van videos, like Elena and Van, like, those were some of the videos that inspired people to learn how to shuffle.
So cool. I really wanted
it was like that union.
Yeah.
I want to show you guys.
No, yeah, I really wanted to ask you about collaborations in general, because you travel a lot when you do dancing, and I've seen some of your videos in really, really cool places, like around the world. Yeah. So, like, what are some of your best memories with collaborations besides the ones you just shared with us?
Oh my God, probably in Dubai. Like, I think like Dubai was like one of the...
Was this a part of the world tour? Because if some of you who don't know Vanessa, she also did a shuffle world tour.
Oh, with with myself.
Yes, you did a world tour and she taught. So is this like also around the same time you were teaching and traveling?
No, my tour happened in 2022. I went to 22 cities in 2022. Super fun. And my Dubai happened in 2021 with Bang. So Bang was another big... Oh my God, this podcast makes me realize I'm kind of getting old. There's so many eras.
We're the same age.
So many
we're
eras.
the same age. Relax.
I know.
You have just grown so much in your career so quickly.
So much.
But
I used to just podcast and be like, I make videos.
No.
And then like now I'm like,
but there are true chapters. Like I feel like within the last like 4 years, like each year had its own chapter.
Yeah, I always think of years as like
you.
the main thing.
Yeah.
Like what happened? What's the main thing that happened? My last year one, I feel like I did nothing. My last year one is like I got dumped.
What do you mean? Last year you stop.
What did I do in 2023? I went to Thailand.
You literally hosted your own shuffle experience?
Oh no, that was January of 2024.
Was that okay?
Never
mind.
I guess it was.
I think about 2023.
Yes, I know. We didn't get dumped
Well, the
last
planning
year.
happened. No, but like I think
the work for it was all 20. We literally did it in January of 2024.
Yeah.
The work for it was all last year.
Yeah.
You know that the building up, the creating of it, everything was last year.
Yeah.
The curating.
And not only that, but like on the other side of things, like in 2023, I've focused a lot on music. That was the year of getting into studios.
You went to Nashville.
Learning about going to Nashville, learning about co-writes, learning about that side of collaboration. But yeah, my favorite collaboration was in Dubai when I went with Bang Energy, because I used to travel around for Bang Energy. Another reason I got so good at dance is I would dance on these stages for like 10 hours at these fitness expos for Bang Energy. Like we would dance, bitch. Like we would dance. And I grew so much as a dancer there. They flew us to Dubai. I saw the world with Bang Energy. I will never
so cool.
be able to repay that. It was the
Would you ever
thing.
collab with another brand like that, or do they have your heart?
Energy drink?
Yeah. Is that your energy drink?
Yeah. I can't, yeah. I just started collabing with a pre-workout, but yeah, ever since Bang, the horrible tragedy of Bang, like they're coming back though.
Oh, you heard it here first.
They're
coming back.
You heard it here
Maybe
first.
not the same. I don't know.
She'll never sell her heart. That's all we'll say.
They were the first Bang was the first company to reach out to me. Like ever. Like I had like 13,000 followers. I was starting to get a little bit of traction, and they reached out and they were like, "We love this. Like, you want to fly to the Olympia or to the Arnold in Ohio? Like, you want to like Arnold Schwarzenegger's like thing," and yeah, it was the coolest thing. But yeah, Bang was a really
that's
cool
very
collab
cool.
in Dubai.
And also like you said, you mentioned earlier that you cut shapes, and that's like more your style.
Yeah.
How does your style necessarily like translate when you go and meet other dancers and you guys are trying to, choreograph a certain dance?
Right. I feel like normally I collab with shufflers, so it's just great. Like we just cut some shapes all day. But it's been really cool to see how shuffle fits into other dance styles. Like when I collab with my friend Matt Sifanina, he's a hip hop dancer, and it's been cool to be able to be a pioneer in bringing shuffle into the commercial world too, because again, it was something that was a little bit more underground, a little bit more niche, a little bit more like stomping, like nothing wrong with that, but like just stomping away, underground, it didn't really have a lot of presence in, shuffling didn't have a lot of presence in a lot of these commercial dance studios. It was more of an underground battle, like just freestyle dance, which it still is, and it's still incredible for that. But seeing it in the choreography world, like seeing it in a dance studio like Millennium or like Playground or like Team Millie TV or all these things.
You just taught your first class, didn't you?
Not my first.
No, not your first ever class.
At Millennium. No, I taught last year my first class at Millennium.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
Millennium likes Millennium wants to bring in shuffling, and so does Playground, and so
That's
do all these
great.
big. So gaining that recognition definitely came from collabing with artists, like you're saying, in other fields. So bringing shuffle into the hip hop world, collabing with Matt Stefanino, the most followed dancer in the world, on YouTube and in the world, literally everywhere. That's huge. He's my biggest inspo. And then Jai, who I love to collab with, he's from Cartagena, so he does like champeta.
Oh, he's amazing.
Well,
I've seen his
he
stuff.
does.
Yeah.
He's the best dancer in the world.
Yeah,
but
he's-
like actually the best dancer in the
he's-
world. But his foundation. He had a lot of foundation that he knew of in champeta, which is a footwork dance style from the coast of Colombia, which is
Where you're from.
where I'm from. Well, where he's actually from. He's from the coast of Colombia. My mom's from Bogota, which is the mountains of Colombia.
Okay.
But champeta is like this. If I showed you the like Shakira does it a lot. Sometimes Shakira looks like she's
Sure.
shuffling. She's not. She's doing champeta. So when I taught Jai, he learned how to shuffle in like a minute because he already had the foundation.
It was so
Footwork.
similar.
The like very like
Quick,
micro bounce
tappy.
foundation.
Yeah.
So collabing with him, he's probably my favorite person ever to collab with because he pushes me and he also gives me like that crazy fire, like hip hop energy / like just amazingness, afro,
That's so
like
cool.
all of that. But yeah, mixing shuffling into all of that and bringing like footwork into that more commercial world has been awesome. People definitely get inspired by it, and people are getting more and more respect for shuffling, I think. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Giant. He's amazing.
He's the best
He's
dancer
next
in the
level.
world. Like Jai Arisa. Jai Arisa.
Know him.
He's the best.
So,
Know the name.
but now that you're so deep into it, what was it like when you first got into it? Because I know there was some controversy around your style, and like, I guess what is like I kind of know your style in a funny way, but like, what would you say your style of dance is, and the kind of controversy around like how like the old school way or like their way,
Yeah.
and your way.
There was a lot more controversy in the beginning because I put out a tutorial that wasn't exactly accurate. But people wanted to learn. Like at this point I had like maybe 100,000 followers or something. Again, I always mention the followers because I was growing with like my journey. So at this point, it's like 2018. I have like some traction. People are like, I want to learn tutorials. There wasn't that many tutorials. Like there was really not a lot of tutorials.
Yeah.
Like, so I put up a thing like different types of Running Mans, and so I named certain things like as jokes. Like I just
Oh, the Polly Pocket.
the Polly Pocket, which today is like the world renowned name for.
I don't
like,
even know
X
what
step.
it looks like or what it is because
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
but-
shuffle experience, everybody already
But
knew
it was
what
the,
the Polly
the
Pocket
shuffle
was.
experience
Funny.
because you had like Kento and then Mark, who are two different styles, and
Yeah.
then they're like, Mark's like the Polly Pocket, you
Yeah.
know, like because he's like, I don't know why you guys call it that,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
Van's word, and it was like he's from another
He
country.
didn't even know that I had come up with the word as a joke on a YouTube video that went viral in YouTube 2018. He didn't even know. He thought it was just like some annoying thing, like who even started calling it the Polly
Why?
Pocket. He came at me actually talking shit about it. He was like, oh, the Polly Pocket. I was like, I named that,
I
right?
made that up.
And he was like, what? He like couldn't believe it. I was like, yep, that was me. Like there's literally people that make YouTube videos being like, stop calling it the Polly Pocket. Like that'll be
You
the
know,
title
that's
of
like
the video.
like
It's
shuffle
so
will always
funny.
now be a thing, and like that will always be a thing, and you
It will
created that.
literally
They'll be
always
like,
be a thing.
Vanessa Seco, what is she known for? Creating the Polly Pocket. Like
No, naming it.
Naming
sorry,
the
naming.
Polly Pocket.
She didn't create it, guys. She
Not
didn't create it.
the-
Wrong.
Please
Is that
don't come
wrong?
at me. But
They'd come at me. This
there was
time.
more no, come on, Marion. No, there was more controversy in the beginning, I think, because of that. Because I was just like, but it was very like it was harmless. Like I wasn't trying to offend anyone, but I was just like, I don't know the names of these things, so let's give them new names. This one
Yeah.
looks like you're a Polly Pocket. Oh no, I was like Elena Cruz, my inspo. She's so tiny and cute. She looks like a Polly Pocket when she does this move. We'll name it the Polly Pocket. The other one, this one's a little harder, which I wasn't even teaching you right. But it looks like my dad thinks it looks like you're stomping roaches, so we're gonna call it the Roach Stomper, which is so offensive in that world, I guess.
no.
And so I didn't even realize, guys. I'm sorry. Sometimes I could be a bitchy Capricorn. I know I can't cross. I didn't. Why would I roast myself?
No, of course.
And then, I actually like made a point in those days. I was such a little rabiosa. Like I was like, I hated when people hated on me. I would be like, you have to learn how to like. You have to like take it when people make fun of you. Like, why are you so offended by this video? I would get so. Oh, I was in a lot of tea back then.
You
But
came back
you were
at
just
everybody.
young.
yeah, I was just young. I was just like, because I didn't mean any harm, and then
Of
they all
course.
came at me, and I was like, I'm like,
You're just
can you not
innocent.
see? I'm
You're
not.
literally innocent, just
Yeah.
living this.
You're like, I'm just
beautiful
trying to
life.
learn too.
Yeah, and there's always been the controversy. So cutting shapes is a style that comes from the UK. black community in the UK who would do it in underground like clubs, and it's like this like very jumpy like out, like you cut shapes with your arms, and then Melbourne, from Melbourne, Australia, so cutting shapes Melbourne, and then there's other subgenres, but they're all shuffle, and Melbourne is more of like that stompy, like with the big pants, you know, you're just like you know, that one. I don't do a lot of that. I don't do a lot of that. I like more of the like black culture. I'm more attracted to the.
She likes the black culture,
to the cutting
guys.
shapes. No, I do. No, like I have a whole thing about that. Like I think the best dancers my favorite dancers are all T-Mac. Like they're all. Is that bad to say? I think they're just the best. Like
that's your opinion.
They
that's
have it
okay.
in their. They just have it. It's genetic. They have it in their culture, in their soul, in their sauce. I think they just do, and they literally came up with the dance style. So like. Give credit where credit's due.
There you go.
Pay that respect.
And Melbourne, that one, you know, came from Melbourne, Australia. I'm not that attracted to that dance style. It is a huge dance style, but I don't do it that much. I'm just not that attracted to it. They were the ones who came, like, they didn't really like what I was doing. So, and also they didn't like that not them specifically, people didn't like that I was dancing in a bikini. So that was a huge thing. Which now, all the shufflers in the US dance in bikinis, which is so funny. But they weren't doing that before. I was like, they didn't like what you were wearing. In a bikini in Miami. And they were like, you're ruining the style. You're like a disgrace to it. Like,
That's
I would get
funny.
so much hate.
Because what did they? Because they all wanted to see the big pants.
They
and
just
the
thought that they were
puffy
just
clothes,
they
like-
were just assholes. Like, they were like your own.
Really?
They were jealous because I was getting attention.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't only when I was in a bikini. But then that would be what they would hold on to.
Of
She's not that
course.
good. She sucks. Why does she have all these numbers? Why is she getting these opportunities? Why is she getting paid? Because then Bang was a part of it.
Yeah,
and she's just
yeah.
naked. Like, that's why she's good. That's why she's
sorry, I'm
successful.
comfortable in my body.
They just held
Sorry,
on to
I
that big
fucking
time.
love my body. Like,
Yeah.
so that was a whole thing. But yeah, they didn't. So then in the beginning, it was like cutting shapes isn't shuffle. So Melbourne or Cali or all these people, they didn't like in the beginning. It's not like this anymore. Everyone loves each other now. But in the beginning, like in cutting shapes, certain people, even in cutting shapes, are like, I don't think cutting shapes is shuffle. It's cutting shapes. Still all around the world, from Colombia to Spain to Russia to here to Canada, people have their own theories, which is great. But I think we've come to a common ground that like they're all just
They're
subgenres
forms.
of
Right.
shuffling. We dance them all to the same types of music, and they generally have the same pocket, which is like this tiki 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 tiki. You still like, it's like you're jump roping. That's still generally the same pocket.
Now you got me doing
for any Melbourne, Cali, Malaysian
Yeah.
cutting shapes, you're still on that pocket. So I mean, a little smoother and a little jumpier in certain ones.
Sure.
But that was a lot of the controversy in the beginning. Like, oh, she's not a shuffler. She's cutting shapes. Oh, she's naked. Oh, she's disgrace. Oh, she made this tutorial saying we're roach stompers. So all this stuff. And if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
I mean, she was just being her.
You were
just
just being
naive,
you,
and I
yeah.
was ignorant, like we
But
talked
you,
about.
but you were
I
literally
was
just
20.
being you. You were being an
I
ignorant
was just being
20-year-old.
myself, and I didn't mean any harm in any of it.
Totally.
But yeah, and then there's been a lot of things since then. But I think I've had to prove myself, even though my intention has never been to prove myself. But I think I've proved myself. One of the people who actually hated on me the most is actually one of my friends now. So
Didn't he like come to one of your like classes or something? It was like
no,
one of those...
it was like a party or something. It was
That's
like
funny.
a party or something, and we're cool now. And I love that because I think that when it's been so much time, when someone doesn't know you and you do
Yeah.
their style that they, like
Yeah.
with the respectfully, they had been doing it for like 10 years, and then I just popped out of nowhere and I started
Sure.
getting all these opportunities, and it's like, yeah, at the time I even look back and I'm like, I sucked. Like, why was it working
Yeah.
for me? But it was just my energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I pissed them off. So it was a mixture of what was I mentioning? What was I saying? So in the beginning, yeah, they didn't want me to like come and like disturb the scene, I guess. But
you're
and
also
in the beginning,
making the audience bigger for it.
right?
Did
But
they not
and
want
that
that?
was my whole argument too. Is
Yeah.
that like this is a dance that has clearly saved all of our lives. Like it saved
Yeah.
me from being miserable and like a lawyer, whatever I was gonna do with my life, just for money.
Yep.
It saved this person from mental health. It saved all these people and brought them happiness. Why are we gatekeeping? Like, what's the point of gatekeeping? I understand if things are being taught wrong, because that I don't agree with too. I'm a very good teacher. That I will take to the grave. I love to teach, and I'm good at it.
Fantastic
and I'll teach
teacher.
the right way because I'm a rule follower in that sense. But yeah, when it's being taught wrong or things like that, I understand gatekeeping. But then there's just some people that don't want it to grow at all, and you want something to grow. If it healed you, you want to have to. You have to want it for the world.
Because there's
too.
definitely somebody else that needs that same healing that they got from it.
Exactly.
No
Like that's. I had a whole thing where someone was telling me one time, they were like, I hold on deep to it because it saved me. Like I almost commit suicide. You know what I mean? Like something like that. And I was like, what if there's someone else going through that?
Exactly.
It's only for you? Like it's only your green card that you...
Yeah.
No. Like that's... If you love something, share it. Like what is it? Like your purpose in life is to find your gift and give it away. Like that's literally the quote. And that it literally is what it is. The moment you keep things and it's just for you and it's... I think art is meant to be shared. But I think in the beginning, going back to, I remember what I was going to say, I lost track. When you're new and people don't know you, they don't trust you, they're like, oh yeah, she's just trying to bank off of this thing. You know what I mean? She doesn't really love it. She doesn't even appreciate the culture. She doesn't talk about us, the OGs. Like she doesn't respect us. I understand now their view, you know what I mean, of me. And I think with time, really, it does heal everything. With time, it's been 8-9 years now of shuffling. Of course, over time, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, this is a real ass bitch. She's still out here doing this thing. Like, she actually does love it. You know, she wasn't just using it. And she's actually gotten a lot better. And she's actually one of the best in her craft. Like, oh, okay, now you kind of like work for that respect. Yeah. But I definitely was bullied a lot in the beginning. And yeah. But yeah, it's all part of it, right? It just made me who I am today.
Hey there, marvelous movers and shakers, tuning in to Making It with Marcus and Mariana. Are you ready to be a badass in a career that brings you pleasure? I'm Madison, dear friends of your new favorite podcast hosts and friendly neighborhood pleasure positive podcast host. And holy F, I've got something mind-blowing for you. Brace yourselves because your career is about to get a pleasure-filled upgrade. If you're ready to level up your career game and reconnect with your inner badass, you're in for a treat. Picture this, a 21-day self-worth reset course designed to unleash your inherent power, brought to you by the Pleasure Positive Podcast. We've curated the best exercises and pleasure practices for self-worth from over 300 episodes of our top-rated sexuality podcast. And trust me, this is a game changer. Every day, you'll have access to guided audio prompts, journal prompts, custom meditations, basically all the secret sauce that has turned our Pleasure Positive Podcast into a must-listen phenomenon. But wait, there's more. Dive into our private Facebook group. It's like the Hogwarts of self-love, full of support and connection to empower you through the 21 days. Now here's the kicker. This transformative journey is normally valued at $37, but it's on the house for you extraordinary listeners of Making It with Mar. Yeah, you heard it right, free. So if you're ready to treat yourself like the VIP you are, reclaim your essence and kickstart an extraordinary career, sprint over to pleasurepositiveliving.com/makingitwithmar to snatch up your free gift. Your self-worth is like a rare gem. Precious, undeniable, and definitely worth flaunting. Don't wait. Take the first steps towards the career of your dreams. Visit pleasurepositiveliving.com/makingitwithmar now and let the magic begin. Disclaimer, this offer is as wild as a unicorn ride with limited time and quirky conditions. Check the website for all the delightful details. Once again, that's pleasurepositiveliving.com/makingitwithmar. pleasurepositiveliving.com/makingitwithmar.
Who I am today.
And everybody sees that it's your life now, you love it, and that kind of leads me to my next thing is what do you see as the next thing that you're excited for? What's the future of your platform with dancing, singing? What do you see? What's next?
Definitely singing.
Yeah.
I want to heal with my words now. I think that's what I want to do. But I have a bit of a mental block right now as far as like writing. Okay. Or maybe I need to stop saying it. God, I say this in every fucking podcast. I'm like, I just haven't figured it out yet.
Well, you're
again,
figuring
the
it out.
naive 20s, like when I was like,
So-
I don't care if I'm perfect. I wish I had that with music.
My dad says the 20s are age of exploration.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like, there's a whole thing he says, the 30s are this and that. But I think this is exactly what our 20s are made for. When you say naive and, like, we were ignorant. And, like, yeah, like, those are all things about being in your 20s. But also, don't forget to, like, we're exploring.
Yeah.
So, being able to tap into all those things. And, like,
Yeah.
that's something that's so great about having multiple passions. Like,
Yeah.
you're not just, like, sitting on this one thing of dance.
Right.
So, you're
Yeah.
like, this isn't only my thing. Like, and you've always been singing. It's been something in you.
Oh my god.
That
I have singing videos before I had dance videos.
And that's-
in high school and in middle school, I would literally post me singing Ed Sheeran covers. Singing was my first passion for sure. But then I realized I loved to dance, and it was definitely something that came natural to me too. But singing, I read something though that said that if it makes you scared, do it. Because sometimes I'm
Yeah,
like, maybe
yeah.
it's not for me. Because I'm just like, I'm not gonna
Nervous.
lie, you ask what's next, and I'm just building right now.
But
I
that's
don't
good,
know
yeah.
what's next. Before I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna be the biggest dancer. Again, like, ignorance is bliss 20s. Early 20s. I'm still 20. I'm 28. But, like, the beginning, you're just kind of delulu. I want to be more delulu about music, but I think music is a little something that requires a little more seriousness. Dance, anyone can dance, Dance, you encourage other people to dance.
Yeah.
You don't encourage other people to go be a fucking pop star. That's
No,
that's
yeah.
a little different.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
get
That
that.
you
It
have to want
definitely
it, though.
takes
It's
a little bit more
different.
caring and shaping
Yeah.
your voice.
It's
and
not
what
something
you
you're just like, I'm gonna start putting it out on
Yeah,
Spotify, and
yeah.
it sucks. It's like
you don't wanna
that's
do
how it
that.
was with dance though, and social
Yeah.
media. So it's a little different, and I get really negative about it. Like, I'll have good days, I'll have bad days. I'm like, what? Why would anybody wanna? I'm so basic. Like, I feel like artists, you gotta be tatted. They're dyeing their hair. They're different. Like, they speak their minds. Like, and then I'll get really in my head, and I'm like, maybe I'm not like meant for that. Like, these are all my negative thoughts.
But
about- But then I keep doing it,
But
and I
you
keep
have, like-
going, and I keep showing up for my lessons. So it's like, clearly there's something that I'm being pushed, and I have a message for the world, and that's what
Yeah.
music is.
So
Like,
stop fighting for, like, when you feel like you're not, like, finding yourself in the creativeness, because
Yeah.
that's probably the block. I think you have to see yourself more as, like, how you did dance, where, like, one day you were just like, okay, I'm gonna stop and do
Yeah.
this. And, like, that's okay. Like, maybe literally take a week and just focus on music, whether you're just
Yeah.
like, and don't, like, I mean, obviously you have to post for dance and whatever, practicing or whatever, but, like, literally take that week and just be like, okay, just writing,
Yeah.
just singing, and, like, maybe I'm
Yeah.
not even writing and I'm singing other people's songs and I'm getting comfortable, like, practicing my pitch
that's
and things.
all I do. To
Totally.
And,
be
like,
honest.
get
and it
yourself more
almost makes me
comfortable.
like not practice a lot of dance. I'm in this weird
We're
place where
already
I
there,
don't
though. We're
practice
good.
dance enough.
You
Yeah,
got
we
that.
are.
We're good.
But you have to train it.
Well, of
course,
course,
you have
go
to
to the
keep
gym.
muscle.
Keep it going.
But at the same time, like, you want to tap into this new thing
do.
and, like, really tap into it. So you got to do it
Yeah.
the same way you did dance. Fully tap in.
And
Fully
try to
tap
use
in.
some of that. Try to get some of that confidence that you have when you dance, because it's flowing through
Right,
you. So
right.
use some of that confidence
You ever
when you're
sing while you
singing.
dance?
I love that. No,
Why don't you try to sing while you dance?
I should.
Because I
absolutely
feel like
should.
you're also, like, so creative when you're creating one dance. You'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, what could I, like,
love
I don't know.
that.
And
Or,
when
like,
you're,
there's
like,
just
really
one
in the
beat.
flow-
Not even words, just
I
a
haven't
beat.
even fucking thought about that. You want to know why? Because I sing a lot of sad songs. It's like, what am I gonna do? Just like start floating. But yeah, no, I know what you
Yeah, but no. But, like, you can make it, like, sad and upbeat at the same time.
for sure.
Because, like, Olivia Rodrigo, I know you love her.
I
like,
love
like some of those are, like, upbeat, but
Yeah.
you're, like, also, like, crying. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, right.
or, like, and
No,
so
and my
tap
vocal
into-
coach literally tells me, he's like, why don't you just move and dance with it? Every single time I do, I start to express better. So, yeah. But it's all a process. I've been in vocal lessons
Totally.
for 4 years now. So it's been happening in the background. And I've written a lot of music. But I've only recorded music that I've written really loosely with, like, we write it in a day. Where... Or we write it in a session with a stranger or something. That's the only stuff I have recorded. So that's why I haven't released anything. For all those people that always ask me, when are you going to release? That's why. But I have been writing so many songs, incredible, deep, meaningful songs, with Pam, my brother and my sister, and my vocal coach. So those songs are the ones I'm really excited to release. Like, maybe I'll, like, release an album this year of just, like, my first songs that I
Just
wrote.
like an EP. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like an EP.
literally
Yeah.
EP, exactly.
Literally like a couple songs, bam, bam,
Yeah.
give them a little taste of what's coming.
Production though is something that I'm a little stuck with. Like
Sure.
writing has been nice. Like it's been flowing. It's been good. Like with my brother. My brother's such a good writer. Pam is a really out of the box writer too. Like Pam's always been more into writing, and I've been more into melodies. Like we both always loved music, but Pam's always been like obsessed with Lana and like all these incredible writers.
Yeah.
And then I've always been more obsessed with like the melodies and Ariana Grande and her voice.
Poppy.
So it's like,
Catchy.
just like the nostalgic feel of things. So as far as production, that's where I feel like I have to put all these songs and produce them into like something cool and different. I want to make something different. Like I want to make something that's going to make people feel empowered. I love Lizzo's message. Like, if I were to see myself as, like, a certain artist, I know there's, like, a lot of controversy with Lizzo right now.
crying.
But
She does have controversy,
Yeah,
but
she
it's
got
just,
controversy.
she's just funny.
But
she
still, her message.
she owns her messages.
I'm going to say, I think people were just maybe didn't understand her energy. Because she just was having fun. Whatever it is that the controversy that was. I trust her. I love her. But I just, like, in case somebody told you today, you're special. I love that she, like...
Oh, I know that whole album was
so
so
motivating.
good. I'm sad I didn't see that in concert.
Oh, I know. Me too.
That would have been the one album I'd go see in concert.
yeah?
Because I'd probably just feel the whole time. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm special.
And what was the one that, like, made her the most famous? What was the,
Why can't I think of it right now?
like...
I don't know.
It was motivating. The whole idea is that I love
She-
empowering.
Yeah.
Or like Katy
And
Perry's
catchy.
Firework, like that type of music where you're just like making people feel like
No, all
empowered.
of those people. Yeah.
Because I also like simpy sad. Like there is the Libra Moon side of me that wants to cry about like
I love
that
a
I
good
got dumped
simpy
and all this. I've written enough songs about that for sure. Love songs. But there's also the other side, which I think is the side that I'm meant to do, which is to uplift and motivate through my music and with my voice. So I think that's the intention behind the music part of it. So we'll see. That's what's next. As far as like dance, I want to launch a dance platform where people could shuffle in the easiest way possible. But I have to build that. And again, juggling these different passions right now has been a little difficult, but I'm starting to get more of the hang of it. But trying to go full force in something while still having this thing that is the one that makes me money kind of makes me fall a little out of love with dance, because I'm like, oh, well, that's the thing that makes me, money, because like that's the thing that's like constant, it's my constant, you know what I mean? It's the thing that I have, it's down packed, I got it down, I get brand deals, I get this. And then singing's like the thing that I like run away to, and like no pressure about it. I don't have numbers in that yet.
It's like a hobby.
Great. It's like, but so I made a TikTok. We were talking about it earlier.
Yep, I was about to bring it up.
Yeah.
You said that you have mixed emotions about
Yeah.
passions being a career, and that's kind of what our podcast is all about.
Yeah.
Is about taking your passion and making it and like fully following into your career, which you've done with dance.
Yeah.
But now that's something you literally just said. It's you're having mixed emotions about like fully tapping back in, and then how do you tap into singing, and it's a hobby, and
It used to be much freer to create in dance, and it still is. I could tap into it, but it feels like there's been a shift, unfortunately, that like Billy said, like things I once enjoyed just keep me employed now in getting older. No, she says, things I once enjoyed just keep me employed now. She goes, things I'm longing for, one day I'll be bored of. Isn't that so crazy to think about? And then she goes, it's so weird. It's so weird that we care so much until we don't. Well, that's a good fucking song.
That's a little bit of vocals right here. You guys got a taste.
That
of
was
it.
horrible.
That's a
That was
taste.
It's a tease.
freaking horrible.
No, but that's people say that it's like you want something so bad, and then once you get it, it's like you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
You're like you're there because you work so like, and it's like I don't ever want to get that feeling because like we constantly
the
find creative
pressures of
ways.
it.
Right.
I mean, I only feel pressure from myself, and I feel like
Right.
also sometimes having a partner to relieve that pressure, knowing like okay, I'm not alone in this, and then to like revamp myself for the next day and go full force. So I think there's also that like you got to learn to reel yourself back and not give it your all.
Yeah.
I know that's hard when it is your all and you are your Capricorn self. And so it can be hard to like
But
really...
it's all a balance. Some days I hate it, some days I love it. It's okay though, and I think about it and I'm like, I wasn't always going to be as obsessed as, like, that's just life. Like, you have moments, you fall in love. Like, the first time you've ever seen something, anything, like, you get more excited the moment you see it, and then you get used to it, and then it's not that exciting, and then you fall in love with something else. And the thing is, though, and every dancer will say this, like, once a dancer, always a dancer. Like, I will always be a dancer. But that pressure that it gave me for a long time, like, in certain moments did start to get me to not love it as much as I did when I was just, like, creatively free, like, whatever, no pressure. But then, again, it's all balance. Like, I always just go back to glass half full, and I'm like, I get to dance for a living. Like, I'm so fucking blessed. And if you're just, like, grateful, it keeps you grounded, and it doesn't keep you in this resentful state of mind. Because resentment is only going to bring you no prosperity, just, like, lack of abundance. Like, it's just going to be, you're going to be in a drought. So I like to believe I'm still very grateful for dance and for social media and everything that it's given me, because I still am able to live off of it. So it's still something that I adore deeply, but I think I'm going more towards the music route and mixing them. I want to dance and sing on stage one day. That's the future.
I mean, I can
at
see
Coachella.
it.
That's my dream. Maybe if it doesn't work out to be a whole ass tour, it's fine. If I don't become, what am I saying? I'm gonna be a huge pop star. But sometimes I think about, like, my age, and I'm like,
no.
But whatever.
We don't think about age. Age is just a number.
We don't.
People didn't even make their first millions and billions.
Look, you could still be
40s.
you could still be on American Idol this year.
Yeah, I guess. But see, I'm not ready for that.
No,
I'm not ready
but
for
it's
that.
okay.
I'm building.
It's okay.
I'm building in the background, but I'm building. And as whatever it ends up being, my biggest goal, to be honest with you, and it's not because Coachella's next week, is to perform at Coachella. I love Coachella.
No, I know how much you love Coachella.
I freaking love Coachella. Even if it's like I get on a Louis the Child song and I'm a feature and I get to come out and sing, that would be, because you guys have seen that.
Well, Zendaya did Labyrinth.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Zendaya
been
did
to
Labyrinth last
Coachella
year at
so many
Coachella.
times. We met at Coachella.
Yeah.
What?
You didn't know we met at
Oh my
Coachella?
god, this is so symbolic right now. This is really full circle. I didn't know you met.
Well,
I
wait,
think I remember
what-
you met at a
We
festival.
met
but
at
not
Coachella.
Was it April 14th or 17th? It was something like that.
Yeah, it's literally
It's literally
April.
coming
Yeah,
up.
April
I love
17th or
Coachella.
something
But
like
that
that.
was-
I just love that it's a perfect mix of everything.
Well, it was...
Rave, indie, pop. Like,
I think it was
has
Kehlani.
everything.
And the vibes.
We wouldn't have...
Kehlani
he wanted
was
to
the
go
one.
see... You know Taylor? That weekend, Taylor
Yeah.
didn't want to go... Me and Taylor have always gone to Coachella together also, and we met Marcus there at the same time. I was like, I'm going to go see Kehlani, and Taylor's I don't want to go see that. And Taylor's always about her way. She's like, I'm not going to see that. So I was like, all right, fine. We met Marcus and his friends, and Marcus was like, oh, I'm going to see Kehlani. And I was like, well, it's nice to meet you, Taylor. We're going to see Kehlani. And so we all... Taylor went with us, but we all went to go see Kehlani. It was like, that's like every year we've gone to Coachella, and now it's like us as our group.
Now it's like your little anniversary, kind of.
Well, now it is.
Meeting
Now
anniversary.
it's always been our friend anniversary.
friend-iversary,
It was our
yeah.
friend. It is.
Because they
I
were
guess.
friends for a minute before they were in a relationship.
Yeah.
How cute is that?
Oh, yeah.
That's how you're supposed to do it, isn't it?
No, it's not just how you're supposed to do it. It just
I
happens.
think it is.
Just how
It just
what worked for
happened.
us.
I think you have to like someone before you like them. You have to like them.
I think
No,
that's
yeah.
a good
No,
way to do it.
yeah,
and it's a good
definitely.
foundation for sure. But
yeah. It's not always the way, but yeah.
It took some time to like. It took 6 years.
Crazy.
It took 6
Well, one day
years.
we'll all go to Coachella together.
Yeah.
Hell
No,
yeah.
we literally. Okay, sorry for this year's lineup. We aren't big fans of like. It has to be a good lineup for me to go. It's just like
the vibes
it's
are
just-
great.
I've been so
the
many
vibes are
times.
fantastic
Yeah.
always. But I need good music. I need the music that I'll
Maybe
like.
it's
and
music
be-
that I'm really excited for this
No,
year's music. Maybe it's music you were meant to discover there, though.
Sure. No, it could be.
Because there's so many like small artists that you guys already know.
Yeah.
Coachella's about the like artists that
That's
you
Big
don't
time.
know,
Yeah, on the come up.
you discover, and like there's actually a lot of good ones on there.
You know what? It could be
but
an
the
ignorance is
headliners were a
bliss
little
situation
iffy.
for me.
What is it?
It could be an ignorance is bliss situation for me.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know
Yeah.
anybody,
That's what I'm saying.
but I might.
All right, we need to find free tickets. Come on, Marcus.
I mean, that's what I'm waiting for right now. I thought I was gonna get 2 tickets. I might not. I don't know.
Oh shit.
Listen, Vanessa needs chickens.
I need
guys.
tickets. Help. This might not even be out before we go to But yeah.
Maybe.
I gotta put in my request.
That's
too.
where that'll be the main
know.
place that I perform at Coachella. Just remember this podcast. I will perform.
Said
at
it here
Coachella one day.
first.
It
It's
will
happening.
be at
She's
the
claiming
top
it.
of my vision board.
Yeah, put that. I mean, I have my vision board. I literally have a private jet with like me, Oprah, Zendaya, and like people sitting on the private jet.
What?
They're like photos. I'll show you. It's in
It's
there.
gonna happen.
Yeah, I'll show. I know
It-
because
it
it's
will.
on there.
Did
Literally,
you, like,
I
print
cut them
it's
out. I'll show you.
exactly
It's
what
in the
you
other
think.
room.
It's
I'll show
exactly
you.
what you think.
We need to show the
It's on. No, the podcast doesn't. It's literally my vision board, so not the world needs to see it. But like, I'll show you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because it's too good.
Stop.
Yeah, one day I sat there and I was like about to put them on and I was like, Marcus, wait, I got a good idea.
What you put on your vision board happens.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
I know.
Like,
that might be the craziest jet
I
ride
had
ever.
1 mil at the top of my vision board, like a pyramid. It was 1 million followers, and it literally happened that year. Like, I'm not
Incredible.
joking.
Oh, that year? Ooh, I better
Yeah.
prepare.
It happened.
If it's that year, we better prepare. I mean, well, the funny thing is we put on
Maybe
our
it's
vision.
not that specific year,
But it's happening.
But you're going to
It's-
get
it's-
on that private jet with
it's-
Oprah and Zendaya.
And there's also Jay Hud on there and Issa Rae and there's a few people
God.
on the there's
Everyone.
there's a bunch of us on that plane. I ain't gonna lie.
What?
Yeah.
It's a big purple
It's
jet.
a big purple.
It's a big
It's
purple
literally
jet.
a jet with purple seats and then cut out.
Purple seats!
A girl.
Okay.
I'm having
Mariana
a,
loves purple.
and I'm also
As you can see.
and I'm also gonna have a purple jet one day, so that's a part of it. I want my
Oh.
jet and I want those people around
Can you
me.
let me rent your jet
It's
for
in
when I want to
production.
go to Bora Bora?
Yeah. Well, we could just go with you.
Oh,
you don't have to
great.
rent
Yeah, like
me.
what does all
Fuck.
of that?
That's true.
I already got my private pilot and all.
Oh my
Madison's husband.
Yeah.
Bora
Yeah.
Bora is my dream spot.
Yeah, all those spots are my dream spots. We're
Really?
going. We're just going.
Is that your number one dream spot?
No,
what are your guys'
my-
dream spots?
My dream spots
Dream
are like
spot.
not like
Travel
Dubai. Dubai when I have a lot of money.
My actual dream spot is
Africa.
a safari in Africa. I want to go on a safari in Africa
Yeah.
more than anything.
Oh, wait, a safari.
A
Yes.
safari in Africa.
So like anywhere, like
In Africa.
Anywhere in Africa, anywhere that I can be driven out into the desert on a jeep and
Well, not
be
desert
within
safari.
striking
oh my
distance
god,
of a lion.
I had a friend that just went. You guys know Lexi Peters? Did I introduce you to Lexi Peters?
I met Lexi at the dance thing with Jules.
Yeah. She was just in a safari in Africa.
No shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Marcus's like bucket
Jealous.
list.
Dude,
Bucket list.
that is
We'll
on
go.
one of my bucket lists.
We'll
too. I
go.
mean, who wouldn't want to do that?
I mean, the Lion
Yeah.
King. I'm down.
one of my faves.
Little Simba and Nala.
Fave.
Wait, is that his mom? Or is that the girl?
Nala?
No, that's his girl.
Nala's his
No,
girl.
that's his
Nala,
girl. That's his
Nala
team.
is his
Yeah,
girl.
That's his
Simba
team.
and Nala right
Who's
here.
Beyonce?
Nala.
She's Nala.
Oh, she's Nala.
Yeah,
She
was
plays
Sim-
Nala in the live action.
Mhm.
Wait, then who's the mom?
Who's Simba in the live action?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I don't know
know
these
who
things.
Simba is.
Beyonce
Just
is all that matters.
yeah.
It's all good.
So Safari, Dubai, Bora Bora. All right, well,
We're going.
It's gonna happen.
Load up the jet.
All three of them, they're gonna happen.
Well, all I know is we have big plans for the
we
future.
do have big plans.
I mean, I feel like there's
Thank you,
nothing we didn't
guys.
cover.
We
We
did
literally
it.
did every chapter of Vanessa
We
Seco's
did
like
do.
career from start to just about where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
did.
Where it's going to be.
we covered it all and where it's going. Hopefully,
really did.
you guys get to see me at Coachella one year.
You will be
You
seeing her at
will be seeing
Coachella.
her.
We will be front row. We'll be
No,
the
like hopefully you make it
VIP.
to the concert because it's happening.
It's yeah.
That's what I
You'll
meant
be-
with
The
you'll be
lineups
there.
that come out, you can be like, oh shit, Vanessa Seco.
Ah!
Fuck. Saturday night.
We'll be
Oh,
like,
shit.
can we get on your artist list,
Oh,
please?
yeah.
Can we get on the artist? Like,
No.
how do we get in, Van? How? And she'll be like,
Oh.
you guys sure you can? I don't know you.
I'm gonna have what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
just
have
kidding.
unlimited.
You think Mama
Artist
Seco's gonna not let?
Oh,
Mama
yeah.
Seco's gonna
Mama
override all of
Seco,
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Are you kidding?
that's my best friend. You think me and Van are friends? Me and her mom are best friends.
Mama Seco and Maria. My mom will be exhausted, and she knows Mariana's coming. She's like, all right, I'll get up. Like, she'll get up from like a long day. She'll be
She's
like,
like,
no,
do I need to
Mariana's
cook
coming."
dinner? Do I need to
No,
cook?
she
What-
literally is
what
like
should
in
I
the
cook?
kitchen as if she didn't like just sleep.
Yeah,
I guess.
literally.
No, I love your mom. She's like
I love
the
it.
most
Thank you
amazing
guys
person.
for having me.
No,
Thank
thank
you
you for
so much.
coming.
You're the best. I love talking about my passions with you guys, and thank you for doing this. You're making the world a better place.
You're incredible.
Thank you for coming on. Guys, we will make sure you guys can find Vanessa if you don't already follow her on social media on TikTok, Instagram, all the great socials. I might even add her phone number. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I might as well. At this
no,
point. My
but-
phone's dry.
Thank you
I need
so
friends.
much for coming on. You are not just friends, but we are family, and it's a pleasure to get to hear how you really started this
Yeah.
amazing career. So
Crazy.
make sure to give Van a shout out, guys. You want to follow her career from start to finish. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the best things. But thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of Making It with Marcus and Mariana. I'm Mariana.
And I'm Marcus.
Bye, guys.
And I'm Van.
And I'm
And don't forget, no one is you, and that is your power.
Yes.
Oh my god.